What's good, What's good, YouTube? And today we are back. I know it's been a while since we put up some videos, but we were gonna get back to the grind and consistently put up some videos going into the new Madden and college football season. Um, Today's video is something I kind of wanted to kind of make. I've had a couple friends of mine, a couple buddies, kind of ask me about zone drops. Uh, kind of just this video is kind of just going to break down zone drops and how different coverages actually matter on your zone drops. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. So if you like what you see today in this video, please subscribe, like the video, comment on the video, help push this video out to other people to get this knowledge out there. And yeah, let's get into it, boys. So like I said, today's video is going to be about zone drops. Today I am in the Kansas City Chiefs defensive playbook. We're going to come out in a formation I've been kind of labbing and kind of like. I'm going to probably post another video of a blitz out of this formation as well. Um, but we're just going to kind of just go into like how zone drops work and the different coverages and how they operate and react because a lot of people kind of get confused on they think everything just works the same because they have zone drops on. So today we're just going to come out and just like a cover two drop, a defense that's not matched. And if you don't know, you can see in the bottom left hand corner of the play, you'll see where it says zone. Linebacker blitz O says blitz. Cover two drop says zone. We're going to pick a play that's not a match defense. You'll know it's a match defense. Let's just go to like 6-1 right here. So like where you see cover four quarters, this is a match defense. So just think about like last year's game where you could turn match on and off. You can't do that this year, obviously. So like this is basically turning match on and off, right? Like cover four quarters is a match defense, so you're going to be in match principles no matter what. So we're just going to come out in a play that's not match principles and defense. So we're just going to come out and cover two drop here out of nickel 3-3. These same principles work out of any defense that you run, and you're going to find out. So just to kind of show an example, what we're going to do today is we're kind of just going to kind of base a line here. We're going to put our clouds, our flat routes, our hard flats, clouds, and soft squats. This is, as you can read the description, it says overrides the zone depth for hard flat, cloud flat, and soft squat zones. Now, it overrides the depth of them, but it doesn't override how they react in the coverage, which is very important into knowing what you need to put onto the field and what you're probably running into when you're playing pros, comp, players, when you're like, man, I'm running the same defense. I'm doing the same adjustments, but really it's these little things that you're probably not doing. So anyway, so flats at 30. We're just going to put our purples, your curl flats, quarter flats, and seam flats, your purples on fives. And we're just going to put our hooks on 10 just to kind of show the depth of everything, which, your hooks are going to be your three recs, your hook curls, your middle reads, and your verticals, right? So anything that's yellow on the field. So let's just come out and cover two. The offense, we're just going to come out and like trips tight end, just run verticals just to kind of like demonstrate this so I don't have to get another controller. So we'll just do verticals here. So now here we go. The biggest thing is this is base cover two, right? This is base cover two. So we have our blues, our light blues, your flat routes are on 30, our hooks are on 10, and our purples are on 5, right? So we're gonna kind of just do everything here and just kind of show you how. So like right now I'm putting A, the linebacker, I'm going to put him on a curl flat. As you can see, it's hard to see. Whoops, wrong player. You see the purple. It says curl flat, right? We're going to put Talib over here on a hard flat, hard to see, but we're going to put him on a hard flat. We're going to leave this guy over here on a cloud flat. We're going to put this guy on a seam flat. So we got two different purples here. We got a curl flat, seam flat, cloud flat, hard flat, and then we got a mid read, and then we're going to put a hook curl here, right? We're going to put a hook curl, and then we're going to have a mid read. Just kind of move them around just to kind of show this off here. So we'll let the CPU kind of run the play, and then we'll kind of break down the differences that you're going to see of the coverages. So CPU is just going to throw some nonsense. So let's go into the replay here. and just kind of break down the differences, right? Mind you, everything is at the same zone drop. Now remember, we put this corner over here on a hard flat and just kind of watch like how much quick, mind you, these are 30-yard hard flats and the ball's at, it looks like the 40. So his zone depth should be all the way to the 30-yard line here, right? That's 10, 20, 30. He kind of like sprints back there and kind of like actually plays the tight end corner route here, more so. And then you're gonna see we put him on a curl flat purple, which is just a regular purple route. The seam flat is more of the match principle. But since we put this guy on a curl, look how like he just gets all the way to the sideline, right? He's playing 5 yards, because this is we put him at the 5 yard depth. He's playing 5 yards, but the curl flat principle goes all the way to the sideline, right? AKA double Mabel. It's kind of like a double Mabel here, from previous years. Look at our seam flat, the match principle that we put our purples at 5. Look how he doesn't go to the sideline and he kind of just stands here, kind of like, and then he kind of goes. He's more playing match. He's basically, his principle is he's going to play 5 yards of that purple, but his first instinct is to play match. He's not going to match on, but if there is anything coming across the field, aka if that tight end was on a drag route, the running back's on an out route, coming towards his side, he's going to stand there, wait, and then drop into the outside. So those are the two key differences when you're running zone drops and what kind of coverages to put out here, right? You'll also notice we put this dude on a cloud flat and just kind of watch how he just backpedals, right? He literally just kind of backpedals slowly, and you see how he just kind of gets torch on a streak before he even gets to his 30 yards. And it kind of basically takes him, he literally only gets about 10 yards of backpedal, if that, before he's just kind of torched and beat. So we'll kind of show you that there. Mind you, this dude's on a 10-yard mid-read. This guy's on a 10-yard curl, and they kind of just shuffle around the middle. It's really not too much of a difference in depth. It's really just about how they react to zones coming across, which, as you could tell, like this guy was on the hook curl. He's going to kind of like run it like a match, but just really kind of get to the middle. And then your vertical mid-reads, if you put them on, they literally just stand there. Don't really do much. He's just reacting because that dude's in his zone. So just to kind of demonstrate further more of what I'm talking about, we'll kind of break each one down here, right? So cover 2, just watch. We're just going to shade underneath and just have these guys play hard flats on the outside and just kind of watch how the outside corner, we'll go to the replay and just show you how much different he plays the zone drop and everything, just to kind of break it down a little bit more. So you'll see, mind you, these are 30-yard cloud or hard flats. This corner, as you could tell, the play before, he kind of just backpedaled into his zone drop and just kind of got torched. Here, since he's in a hard flat, you're going to see he actually sprints. He actually sprints to his 30-yard coverage that he's assigned to, right? He's really not beat. Obviously, this is cover 2. He is giving up the streak. And why is he giving up the streak? Because his zone depth is 30 yards. So he's starting to tail off because the ball's here at the 40. This is 10. This is 20. He's reacting to this guy who's actually going to be running over here, kind of into his area of 30 yards, because the 30-yard line is the 30 yards. So as you could tell, like hard flats, if you put your players in hard flats and you have the zone drops, they actually sprint to their spot. So if you have hard flats on the outside, they actually sprint to their zone depth. He's actually sprinting full sprint to his zone depth. Number 2 is not torching him. He's only torching him because he's starting to shade more to the inside as he gets to the end of his zone depth, which obviously, this is just a cover 2 shell. Just to kind of explain zone depths. We're not worried about what plays being ran. We're not worried about trying to bag anything here. Just explaining zone depths on zone drops, right? As opposed to, just to kind of show you again, the cloud flat over here, just leave it on a cloud flat. As you could tell over there, the dude just kind of backpedals slowly, very slowly. So And as we go to the replay here, just to show it again, mind you, this is cloud flat. You see how your corner just backpedals. He doesn't do what he just hit in the hard flat, doesn't sprint, is just kind of backpedaling to his assignment, right? So that is a key thing to kind of demonstrate. The other thing I kind of want to show too is soft squats. Soft squats are also part of your, your flats, right? So watch how like they're in a soft squat, which is AKA, your match defense, right? Kind of look how he plays that there. As we just try to just say screw it, click on. Watch how he kind of plays that one there, right? Whoops. So let's go out here to this outside corner and watch how he plays the soft squat, right? He is kind of basically running a match principle to his 30-yard zone depth, right? He's actually just sprinting up here like he's in man or a deep blue with number 2. And he just stays with number 2 and then drops him off at 30 yards. So to keep in mind, a lot of your match principles are going to stay in their zone depth, and they're going to kind of match on until they get to their zone depth, right? That's the difference between doing match principles and zone drops, is they're still going to keep those match principles, but then obviously drop off to wherever. So like if we had this guy in a 20-yard soft squat, he would have ran with them and then stopped right here at the 40, right? But since we had him in a 30, he literally just runs with them and then stays right here. And as you could tell, he's literally the whole entire time, his back is turned from the rip. Back is turned looking at the quarterback. So you can easily click onto this guy and try to get corner routes and all that. Same with over here. You're going to see this corner. We also put him in a soft squat. He's doing the same thing. He's kind of just reacting. It's nothing too crazy. Since he's in a soft squat, he isn't a match principle. He's kind of watching anything, and he's kind of just reacting to both these routes here. So with that, let's just kind of go into the purples, from the first play that we did here. So one example is, just to kind of show this again, here's a curl flat. I'm putting Y, that's Y is going to be on a curl flat here, just to kind of demonstrate. You see he's on a curl flat, so let's just run it. And just watch how curl flats immediately just go. It's kind of like your clouds. They literally just kind of sprint over there to the outside, as you can see in the replay. We have our purples on 5, and he just sprints to the outside, aka what you would want to do when you're just running double Mabel, stuff of that nature. Nothing crazy. Now obviously if you put this guy on a seam flat, we're going to put him on a seam flat, which is kind of like what they run when you run cover 4 quarters or palms or whatever, match principles. Just watch how he kind of stands there and then he kind of goes to the outside. His first instinct is, again, it's a match principle. So his first instinct is to stand there, watch anything come across the field. So if you're ever wondering, when you're seeing people, when you're like, oh, I'm running a drag, and you just see a dude just literally standing there, that's why. They might be on a zone drop. They could be on a purple, like a seam flat here, and they're just kind of waiting for anything to come across the field, because they are in a match principle for these 5 yards. So now with that, there's not really much to the hooks. I mean, we got all 3 here, right? We got a mid, we got a 3 rec, and we got a hook. We put those on 10. I mean, you'll kind of see how they all kind of react differently. They really just kind of scramble around. Don't really do much. They're just kind of moving around, right? The more stationary one, because obviously, again, 3 rec is still trying to do its match principle here. So that's why you see it's kind of trailing, and it kind of goes to the outside here with the tight end. It's staying at a 10-yard depth, but again, it's matching on to the tight end. That's why he ends up way out here, because the tight end's on a corner route. He's still at 10-yard depth. As you can tell, he's at the 50. The ball's at the 40. I believe this guy was the hook curl. Your hook curls kind of just literally stand, just kind of like how your cloud flats and all that, your basic zone drop coverage. They kind of just stand in their area where it's designed at 10 yards, and that's it. Your mid reads are kind of acting kind of like a 3 rec. they're designed to get more deep. So that's why, like, if you do, I would suggest if you do like these, don't put mid reads on the field because they're kind of reacting like three recs, but not really. They kind of get to their spot, as you could tell. It's kind of like the hard flats. They sprint to their spot where they're supposed to go. So you'll see like your mid reads will literally sprint to their 10-yard depth, just like they're supposed to. And then they kind of just stand there and that's it. They don't really react. They just kind of stand there and like he's only moving towards what is this 18 and then the running back they kind of go in the la la land there. It's kind of weird, but that's why if you were to do different zone drops for those, it's not as bad, but they are going to sprint just to kind of show. We'll put like our hooks on 30 for this demonstration here and just run again. We'll just run verticals. Just to kind of show what I'm talking about. You'll see, we'll just put these guys on a spy or something, or just something to kind of get out the way. Just watch, you'll see Pat Tillman. We put our hooks on 30s, and you see how he literally sprints up the field. He's going to sprint up the field in a 30-yard mid-read, almost kind of like a deep blue almost. He's literally sprinting up the field. It's the same thing as if you put your dudes on the hard flat. They're getting that sprint to their zone drop animation. As opposed if we just put these guys on hook curls, like as opposed to just putting this guy on a hook curl, you'll see he's just going to, once the CPU hikes, he kind of just goes to his spot and kind of just trails the receiver, but not more of that mid-read. Mid-read is kind of like going up there more like a deep blue. The hook curl is kind of just following the receiver and just, it's almost kind of the same, but it's not. It's hard to explain. I mean, the 3-rec, we'll see. Let's just put these guys on spies and show what the 3-rec does. The 3-rec should be just kind of following that same match principle again, where he's just kind of the same way. He's just jogging backwards, kind of like our clouds. He's just jogging backwards and just not reacting to anything. I mean, we can put these guys on purples or something and just kind of see. The 3-rec's just going to react to what your zones are in. But as you can tell, see, he's just kind of just backpedaling the whole time, side shuffling. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, right? Like, that's pretty much all your zone drops, your zone depths, your hooks, your all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, that's just kind of the breakdown. So, like a base coverage, it's something to give you a good idea of what you want to kind of run and when you're doing zone drops, what to do. So if you like the video, like I said, give me a like, subscribe, comment on the video, help push this out. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. And until next time, peace.